Good morning, Jamie here, and I am in the garden, and I am so excited that you are here with me today to join me on my first May garden tour. And things are so lovely right now, and I will let you know in advance that I do work outside the home. So I do not strive for perfection in my gardens. I strive for happiness because this is my happy place. And I am very excited to share it with you. And if you're new here, thanks for joining me. And if you're not new here, thanks for coming back. And as you see, I've got some lovely zinnias here behind me. So we will start in the front garden today and work our way to the back where the majority of our food garden is. Alright, let's start with a overview. This is just a bed that's in progress in the middle of my front yard. And this is a magnolia. I think it's a Jane or Sharon, I can't remember, tulip tree. It's lovely when it blooms. And it definitely needs to be shaped up a bit, but it's not on the top priority at the moment. So, for everybody who let me know that these will be cosmos, it has arrived. And look at that color. This was just a seed pack I threw out of mixed seeds. And I think this might be the only thing that came up. Oh no, look. I did throw some zinnias out, but I don't think I threw this color. So I think it's going to be part of the pack. And then these were mystery. I don't know how these dahlias got here, but they're huge and they're lovely. And there's all sorts of blooms. This one's so heavy it fell over. Do you stake your dahlias? What should I do for them for next year? I don't know. And this trumpet pitcher plant seems to be doing a little bit better. This is a native pitcher plant. I'm going to come through here and weed it back a little bit more. These weeds right here, they're not too close as they're outside my fabric, but whatever they are, they're hellacious and they keep trying to take over this little area for the pitcher plant. So if you have tips on taking care of them, please let me know. Alright, there's the rest of the cosmos. And I have onions, bulbing onions in here. And I think they're long day, and we need short day here, so I'm not really expecting too much. But these zinnias look absolutely gorgeous over here. Love the colors. There's kind of a pinky here and purpley here, and the different style where it's like double there. And then the huge pushy ones there, I don't know what they're called, I just like them. And then this definitely needs to be deadheaded, and it's a Rudbeckia, the yellow Rudbeckia. And I get a lot of things on the, what I call the Lowe's crack rack, the discount section. But these mums were gifted to me in the fall from my kids. And then I've got some salvia. And it's doing really well. I've just transplanted it out here. And any of the yellow flowers you see, they're from my daughter. She loves yellow. And I couldn't pass these up. Little pinwheel looking things. I don't know what the name of them are, and I don't see my label. You'll see that as a theme. My labels go missing. But if I can find what it is, I'll stick it on the screen for you. And then this, I will show you the name. Ganzia Contiki Mix, however you say that. But this should get a lot bigger. And I can't tell if there's seed. It doesn't look like any seeds. But this is a glorious looking thing, and it's just not open right now. Certain parts of the day it's open and other parts it's not. So I'm in zone 9 here in southeast Texas. We have horrible squash vine borers, and so I have hidden my squash all over so maybe that'll confuse them. And looky what I see. This will be my second one off this plant this year. And this plant looks quite healthy. Look at that. I'm impressed. Let's see what we got going on here. I think this is the green. Oh, you can see squash bomb borers got it there. I have put BT on this once. This is the green patty pan style squash. And look how big that is. Jeez. I think that one's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest it as well. This will be my second patty pan that I've ever been able to grow because of the squash vine borers. Look at that. I think that's a perfect size. I think this is the green. I don't know. Green or white. It looks white to me, but I planted a few different squash. There was one here, and it got murdered, so it didn't even make it. And we've got some chamomile right here. It looks like it's getting a little beat up because it does get quite a bit of sun. And we're not supposed to be able to grow those here, but it's producing flowers enough. And then if you saw, I have a lovely, lovely elderberry bush that's going to give me way more berries than I need. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do with those. Maybe dehydrate them. Maybe gift some away. I don't really know yet. Like I said, there's going to be weeds and such because I have a lot going on. And I'd rather share with y'all all the loveliness that I have going on because I overlook the weeds until I can get to them. This is a very, very unhappy purple echinacea. Or pink echinacea, just like this one. So once I finish out back, I'll get back on this bed and sort it out. This is a Mexican sunflower, the kind you could do chop and drop with, I believe, is what I was told. So we shall see. And it has got a lot of blooms ready to come out on it. And then we planted out this whole little section with sunflower seeds, and I've only got these right here that are coming up, so we'll take what we can get from there. And then just some banana trees that we really like. I'm kind of putting things in different areas of my yard as a nursery because we do have plans to do other things out back. So I have some extra things that are tropical that are just kind of in place right now, growing and spreading. That way I can transplant them when I'm ready. Then I have this. I have not planted any cucumbers or squash out front. And there's a few of them out here. And where I got this manure does grow cucamelons. I'm going to go ahead and pull this sucker. I know that's not good. So, is that cucamelon? Because it sure looks like it could be to me. Okay, I couldn't help it. I had to grab some of these bigger weeds out the way too. Might as well get this one. My dogs eat this. They absolutely love eating this. But anyway, I'm thinking about letting these grow because I do think they're cucamelons. Well, most of them. Some of those are still weeds. But let me know what you think. And I don't have any plans for this area just yet, because I want to come through here and shape this bed some more and put some more manure through and more landscaping fabric. But we have quite a dip right here where our rain runs off, and I'm thinking of putting rocks all the way through there so it runs off into my ditch. That way it's like a dry riverbed whenever it's not raining, but we will get an actual river through here. So let me know what you think about that, or if you have any ideas, so I can keep this area open. And I also want to do some sort of edging, but I don't know how I can get edging in here and leave this open for my runoff where it would go between the two banana trees. So let me know your thoughts. Okay, so this and the next area are like a thorn in my side at the moment. And hopefully I'll have time to sort them out soon, but I'll show you a bit of what I got going on here. Okay, so these are the dahlias that I planted. And I planted them in 5 different spaces here, and I think it was snails that kept knocking them back, and only that one survived. And then as you see, I have got so many weeds. And the majority of this is pepper vine, which I'm finding it to be possibly the worst weed I've dealt with. And I'm keeping some of these, the narrow leaf plantain, so I don't want anybody else to come through because they'll kill that stuff. But I have a pear tree that needs to be pruned, and I'm going to try to take those off and root them so I can either swap for somebody else to have a pear tree or find another place for them, because I've got another one right here. And this is another mixed seed pack that I'm very surprised made it, but look how cute. I guess that's another cosmos. And there was, I think this is a poppy. Can y'all see that? It sure looks like it was a poppy. So let me know, because I've never got them to grow before. Then I have another little tree over here that it's been in there about the same size for so long I don't even remember what it is. But here's the leaves. You can tell me, it might be dogwood or, yeah, I think that's what I planted out here is dogwood. I'm not sure. But it does look like it's getting new leaves, so it can stay. And as you see, there's some purple lantana. And it's kind of in the shade, and this one kind of creeps. I've always seen the lantana as that bush. And this does get a lot more sun than this. And it seems to like this area, so it can stay there as well. And then I have this crepe myrtle that we have to keep chopped because of the power lines. I'll show you a few of my pots too. This massive plant in the middle is that double purple and white devil's trumpet. And then I've got double petunias, Mexican mint marigold, which I've heard you can use as in place of tarragon. And I can't remember, St. John's wort. And I'm trying out the wine bottle waterer system. There's an update on the Nanking cherry, however you say that. And a lot of things are supposed to be okay here that I don't trust our weather anymore, so I'm putting them in pots. And then some things like this gooseberry, I'm probably going to have to hide from our summer. And then I've got these 3 that my mother gave me that we don't really know what they are. I feel like some are crepe myrtles, and then I don't know. There's the leaves, so if you know. Ooh, this one needs water. Let me know. Nothing got watered last night. We had to go out to celebrate a birthday. And then I have a pecan tree getting a little bit bigger before it goes in the ground. And rhubarb. Not supposed to be able to grow that here. I need to separate these two because this one is growing a lot better on its own. Maybe I'll get time, maybe I won't, but I'm also going to move these away from our summer heat and try to keep them going because my husband loves rhubarb and I've never even tasted it. This is a lot of mint and other things that I just want to keep an eye on. Some things right here like these bananas and this clematis needs to be planted, as well as my butterfly milkweed. And I'm teetering if I want to plant the rosemary or not here. I don't know how it will do. We're hot and humid, and I'm pretty sure it will like its feet not wet at all, so I don't know if I have a place for it. This whole thing is mint. That needs to be redone. This whole bed just got redone. There is zinnias through here. There's even a Hope You Live dragon fruit right there, and I stuck it in there looking horrible from the winter, and it has decided to grow. And I've got a little hyssop, New Zealand spinach, Mexican mint marigold, toothache plant, I think that one's St. John's wort, holy basil, sage, another chamomile that just needed to go somewhere. So Ducat dill, 2 different kinds of parsley, and some Russian tarragon and another kind of dill. So I've just kind of grabbed all my little starts that needed a home and crammed them in here to see how they will do. I've never grown herbs in here, but I do like to grow my zinnias up here because the butterflies and the hummingbirds have wars out here, and it's quite amusing. So we'll see how these do in this bed. I do have orchids on the front porch as well. Some are doing great, some not so much. And I just do the best with them. I also get them on clearance so I could do trial and error and see how they go. This one, I've had it for a few years, and I think this is the first time it's bloomed. And it's got quite a few buds on it, and it looks pretty happy. The other ones need some attention, although this one's throwing off a kiki and buds. Let me show you. Can you see? It's got a little K-key or kiki, and then it's got a spike as well with buds. But I got a table full of plants. Some I really take care of. Some it's I hope you live kind of thing. This is Oreo. Sweet boy. Am I disturbing your nap? Oh, I hear a hummingbird. There's a feeder right behind me. I don't think he was expecting me. And this cute little air plant setup is something my son, my adult son, put together and gave to me. I was quite impressed with that. I think the cats yanked this one out because I found it on the ground. But I think it's too stinking cute. Alright, let's head to the back. Alright, welcome to my chaos. I've got quite a lot going on here, as you can see. And we'll go through as quick as I possibly can. Let's see how we do. So when you see things like that, it's been repurposed to hold. Yeah, and the chickens are back here too. But this is the pink variegated lemon, and it had a whole bunch of buds on it. And y'all will have to ignore my dogs. I'm sorry. They either bark if I leave them in, or they bark if I bring them out. Can you see that? Look at that little guy. You ain't too bothered, are you? So hopefully some of the buds have gotten pollinated. It also still needs a trim. It had some damage from the frost, but I will get to it. And this is a white epi. I've got all my succulents and cacti and things like that over here. That one's kind of failing. Some of these are doing okay, but I'm trying to reproduce them so I can share. And that's what we got going on over there. I still need to put my pump in here and get that thing cleaned out. Y'all, there's so much going on. This lovely one that was from my grandmother's house. Philodendron. This is that nun orchid. I need to cut this off, I guess. I don't think they spread by seed, but just a few more plants I have crammed in here. And I am very excited about that. Is my turmeric that is coming back. It really took a long time to come back, and I have a teeny tiny little dragon fruit baby in there. Pineapple looked horrible after winter. They all didn't get protected very well, but it's coming back. And then I finally got another moringa to germinate, and then there's just some herbs around in there. This thing's not liking me too much. It's an African daisy. I have moved it, and it's starting to bloom again to papaya. And this is what I do with extra tomatoes. Just throw them in a pot with some herbs and hope they live. This is a whole bunch of plumerias that I'm trying to get back up and going. My mother plant died. So most of these I don't know what the color is going to be. We'll have to see. And this is some sort of currant tomato. I can't remember the variety. But look, they are teeny tiny little tomatoes. I think that one was on a little bit long, but wow, it is packed full of tomato flavor. And I have two in here. I should have separated them, but they grow in the clusters. So I think they're quite nice. More zinnias. And these zinnias are pretty amazing. Look at that. I've never seen them have that splatter paint look. And here's one I want to show you. Look at that. Just one petal has the red on one side of one petal. Just absolutely so interesting. So I'm going to keep that one for seed. We're just going to head on back as far as we can go. This is just a potato patch, the Ruth Stout method. We're trying to see how it's going to do and hope that it works because they are free tomatoes. And then I have giant volunteer mimosas. Look, way up there. I mean, we just get so many lovely mimosas. Some we let grow, some we rip out. And this is kind of my ginger patch. It's mostly gingers. I do have other things like an extra birdhouse gourd thrown in here. But these are just so lovely. Look at it. Just absolutely lovely. Don't know if they need more sun. They probably do because these should probably be twice the size by now. So once we go through, we're going to keep clearing because our woods are very dense. But we take our firewood from in there, from any dead trees like this one. We'll take that and make it for firewood. And then we try to keep these sort of saplings trimmed down, but there's just too much property to keep it all trimmed down. But anyway, these should get more like, oh look, random kitty. That's not ours. Kitty, 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 kitty. Okay, we are missing a Gingy cat, but that's not it. So, I had birds of paradise there. It got ruined. There, that is called a root beer plant. And it is also medicinal. And it also does spread, because I did not plant any there or there. So I did put it in this area where it has a larger area. So if it gets past this area, I will dig it up and share it with others as well. And my sad little angel trumpet probably needs a lot more fertilizer than I give it. Another little ginger and wild ferns that I've just found randomly in my grass. So I dig them up and give them a home out here because I really like the look of them. And what I call the rose garden, that's technically not a rose garden anymore. Y'all, me and my mom went through and weeded some of this the other day. This is just, I need to find my hoe. If I could find my hoe, I could do a lot better weeding than just trying to go at this by hand. But so it is, and we will just make do. Hot peak 4 o'clock. This whole area needs to be cleaned out soon because I put my melons on this trellis and all of this stuff needs to go. I need a hoe. And yellow flowers, so that's for my daughter. Roses are doing quite nice. Go ahead and deadhead some of these while I'm here. They're so soft. I love the feel of them. The lilies are done for the year. All of them have bloomed. And I have another squash back here. Look at that guy. I can't tell if that's a leaf-footed bug or an assassin bug. I feel like it's a leaf-footed bug. Now I'm going to have to look. Hold on. Okay, it definitely was a juvenile leaf-footed bug, so he is no more. And I don't have any more squash here, except that little baby and that little baby. But, you know, like I said, I'm hiding my squash this year, and even those are getting found now, so I think I need to start some more. If I'm going to continue to get any squash, it's just going to be by the luck of the draw. And then I have this lovely comfrey plant in with my giant asparagus. Then there's onions in there. And I have got rattlesnake beans here. And they have looked better. I think they might need a drink. It has been rather hot, and I have not made it to water out here in a couple of days. And another lovely rose that's coming up, and something has chewed a circle in that. What the heck? I have never seen that before. Let me know if you know what that is. Somebody just went to town on that. I'm going to pick these beans while I'm here too. And y'all will have to ignore Fix It, Restore It's junk that he collects. Well, I say it's junk. I don't know. I don't think it's junk. But he fixes and restores things. Look at this one. This one don't even have any striping, but it's huge, so I'm going to pick it. I can't believe it don't have striping. That's the whole loveliness about these, is how they're colored. And they do turn completely green when you cook them. So I won't make y'all watch me pick all of these, but I am going to continue with you in just a few minutes because I don't want these to get too big. Alright, see, clothing manufacturers, this is why ladies still need pockets. I've got 2 pockets like this crammed full of my beans because I didn't bring anything out to harvest. Because that's not what I was planning on doing, but you know, plans change, so we need pockets. Anyway, I've got a bunch of garlic in here. There is some elephant garlic in here, and then other garlic that I don't think is going to do that great. I think it's the wrong kind for my area as well. But, you know, I saw it and I grabbed it. Didn't look at the variety this year. But I will make better plans for the garlic because I would like to grow a year's worth of garlic for our family, and we eat a lot of garlic. And this is the other side of the asparagus. And then I've also got some irises in here. And this is what you call high density planting for sure. And you can see the asparagus are starting to die back. So all this will get a haircut and a proper weeding very shortly. And then it'll look a little bit better. But like I said, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for happiness. And if this is growing me food and spreading to make food for later, then that makes me happy. Alright, this is a little further up, and we have marigold here, and then this red vein or vine is red Malabar spinach. And geez, I need to really get out here and prune these again and take all my suckers out. That right there needs to come out of the little armpity area. And I am trying to see if this Malabar can help shade some of the tomatoes, because in a few days we're hitting June and these tomatoes aren't going to like it. You can see right now it is in the shade, but it will get 8 full hours, and tomatoes suffer here in our full sun. But I have a pepper plant here, tomatoes here. I have some herbs thrown in a little bit further in front of them, but they definitely need some attention, and they've got lovely blooms on them. And y'all, I am definitely what most people would say late on tomatoes, because we like to go on vacation in February when we're supposed to start seeds. So I start them when I get back, and they are usually further behind. The tomatoes, the eggplants, and the peppers are a little bit further behind, but I have a long growing season. Dog, get out of my beds! And Sister's going to have to remulch all of these because her chickens escapade again and demulch them. But I've got tomatillos here, okra here, and I have little herbs in between, and if there's not herbs, there's beans. Y'all look how big that's coming up. But the basils are doing nice even though things are eating them. And I should be having okra flowers quite quickly. And I definitely have tomatillo flowers. That one's turning into a little pod already. It's teeny tiny though. And I can't remember what I threw in here. I'll have to check. Maybe a toothache plant, maybe a basil, I'm not sure. Okay, now for the raised beds. This is spaghetti squash that has went up the trellis, down the trellis, and now it's escaping as well. Then I've got some leeks in here. I've got cucumbers all up in here. And like I said, I'm trying to hide my squash, so I've got one on this side, that's spaghetti squash, one on this side, that's spaghetti squash. And I'm pretty sure those millipede things that I've shown y'all have damaged this squash. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, I found one in there right now. Those little millipedes keep getting in my squash and just tearing them up. So I don't know if there's any vine borers in there or not, but they're getting tore up. And I keep putting BT in it, so as you can see, we still are in squash. There's another one that I didn't even realize was there, especially not that big. It's been a couple of days since I've been out here. And the chickens keep coming in here. I've already replanted more pepper plants on this side, and they've knocked that one over. And this one, I just don't think they're going to make it, which is okay, because I do have the rest of those. And I was trying to grow a year's worth of peppers for us this year. I just don't think it's going to make it. We're going to have to work out our chicken drama. That was also not going to make it. Look, we even tried to see if it wasn't the chickens. But this right here, I am so impressed with, because I have struggled with this. This is jicama, and it will grow a tuber in there, and all of this and the pea pods that it grows is poisonous. So that's something to keep in mind if you have small children or animals that might eat it. You don't want to let that happen, but we really like jicama. So I am thankful that it is finally starting, but all these peppers are doing amazing. I'm sure I'll have to do some sort of support for them very soon. And I still need to finish harvesting my cabbage. Ooh, I'm starting to get pest damage, and they are not liking the sun, I don't believe. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do with these, how we would like to enjoy them. And this is kind of a wild mess as well. But I've got prickly pear cactus in there, the lovely nasturtiums, some herbs, some green onions, loquat, walking onions, just some other plants that I need to get in the ground. I'm going to go around the other side so you can see this. These, I just absolutely love the color of these. Lovely gladiola. So nice. I've got a bay tree here and some gardenias and some variegated canna, or canna lily, however you say them. I know people say them different ways. A fig tree, something I don't even know, but I like the look of. Some lemongrass, some chives, a whole side of weeds. Ooh, that one needs to be moved too and needs some water. I'm sorry, y'all, I couldn't come water last night, but I will move it to the shade. And then the lovely calla lilies. I love how this one has spots on the leaves. But isn't that just lovely? And these were on the Lowe's crack rack last year, so they've came back quite nice. And this shouldn't be in a raised bed. Shouldn't be in the property. Let me know if you know why, and why I'm crazy for leaving this in the bed, and what they are. If you can tell me, please leave a comment. And then y'all, I still have kale. I'm very, very shocked. Kale, the Swiss chard, and the collards are still looking quite nice. These are some more Lowe's half off rack. And this is Vicks plant. And I've got another one here that is just gone crazy. And if you smell this, it smells just like the Vicks you rub on your chest. It's just a more natural version of it. Letting this Homesteading Thai go to seed. Hopefully I can get some extra seed from them. And then all through here is eggplant. A very unhappy strawberry. This is the only strawberry plant I have this year. It seems like it's doing better. It's got a bunch more leaves. And some mushrooms. And this is long Okinawa spinach. So, I don't know if they're supposed to grow slow or what. Some spearmint. Some Genovese basil. Y'all, this stuff is strong. Do you find basils to be super strong? I really do. I need a milder basil, I think. And this is a ground orchid that I need to find a place for. And this is a Rebecca like the one out front. And this was also half off as well. It just wasn't marked. But they're just lovely. And this, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It needs to be a ground cover somewhere. And it did make it, and the other one that's a furry leaf, made it through our winter and summer last year. So it can go in ground. And then I've got beans growing over here. And I'll have to look up the variety. I can never remember the name. But it is a black bean. And I've got onions crammed in here. New Zealand spinach, which something is enjoying. But these beans are quite nice looking. Look how red. We're leaving them on to harvest them as dry black beans because I couldn't taste. So I had the family taste them whenever they were small, and they said they were a bit sour, so I'm just going to leave them on as dry beans. Go around this side and see the lovely tunnel, which is taking over for sure. And you can see that is just so full. And I think these are from the 18 somethings. I'll have to let you know. But there is just so much going on in here. Look at that cucumber, y'all. Let's see if I can get it. Oh yeah. Look how dark it is in here in this tunnel. These plants have taken over. Can you see? Let my camera adjust. I mean, I can feel the temperature difference in here versus out there. It's got so much shade. All these spaghetti squash. This one is looking great. And I was worried they were going to need support, but they aren't really needing support. I do have this string kind of holding the plant up. But I have nothing attached to the spaghetti squash. And there's just cucumbers everywhere. This trellis is amazing. And these beans, can you see the difference in the colors? It's so dark in here. Alright, out of there, back into the sunlight. Just some Cuban oregano. I haven't tried it yet. I've read it's edible. Some little yarrows I'm getting raised up. And some Meyer lemons. Even though I hate lemons, I absolutely love the flavor of this lemon. It is just amazing. So, that's how big everything is now. And we got these tiki lights that you can put the citronella flame in because it's about time for mosquitoes to eat us alive, and we'd like to enjoy this area. I'll show you another thing as well. Sister has been working on this picnic table, and she's getting it pressure washed. You can see the before. That's the before, and this is after. We're trying to decide. We might flip over the boards because the other side looks nicer. We might paint it, or we might just seal it. I don't know what we want to do with it yet, but we've got some lights that we'll put up out here and make it magical out here. And I'll probably take you along for that as well. And the chickens. They're of course part of the garden tour, aren't you? Yes, you are. Did y'all enjoy y'all snack? Y'all, I put a whole bunch of bugs in that pan yesterday with some weeds, and they are tearing it up. Look at you being mean, little Dusty, to that little baby. The babies are getting big. They're looking great. And thankfully the pack has a flock. The flock has accepted them in. Well, we still have the orchard, but I am on a time crunch because today is the last day of school and it's early out. So I have a couple of things that I need to do before I go pick up Sister for her final day of school. And she's going to be so excited. And I have just done another video, and it probably will be out after this one, about the orchard and what's going on there. So I'll just leave that out for now, and we'll catch up on it in June. And I really appreciate you hanging out with me. And tell me what your favorite part about this is, or what you'd like to see me grow. If you have ideas for things I should grow, or if you're in my area and you have a specific variety of something that you love to grow and that does amazing here, please share in the comments and hit like, subscribe, share, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you again for spending your time with me. Bye-bye.